What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? You have to do that. You don't have to do that. Let me open this up. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing? How's your weekend so far? You know, I know it's the end of the week. You're getting prepared. Do your thing. Weather looks nice enough. But you know what this is. Today's a 2 for 2. We're going to discuss the fact of how these public servants, basically treat us in the whole 9 yards. When you need civilian wear. Not knowing who you are, who you could possibly be, but yet and still the fact of how they just treat you. I'm going to go into one where I had to go to a courthouse, downtown Brooklyn, Supreme Court building. So I had to go in there and get copies of documents that basically I had filed on the record, when you're filing for power of attorney, administrator, yada, 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 yada. So I go inside, and I'm dealing with the clerks inside, the court clerks. And I go to one, and I give them the information, and they search for it, and they said they don't see it, yada, yada, yada. Go downstairs to the basement, and you can retrieve it from there. I go downstairs to the basement to retrieve it, and the gentleman that's there, staff member, he basically says, first go look on the computer there, see if you can find it. So I go look on the computer, I don't find it. He said, if you don't find it there, to check in their file decks. They have all these little boxes, these little drawers. Inside these drawers, you will find your family members, deceased people that you're looking for. You will find them in there. So I go in there and I'm looking for a particular person, family member, and I don't see it. So I'm telling them I don't see it. I see all the rest of my family there that passed on that's there, but I don't see my mom. And they're like, "Well, you didn't file it here." You try to stay as calm as possible because the people that's talking to you, they don't understand that they're talking to an adult. They just talk at you like you're an idiot. I said, "No, sir, I filed it here. I filed it upstairs. I can even give you the roundabouts of what year it was filed. And, well, it's not there, then it's not here." Now, the next thing you're supposed to really say, let me speak to your supervisor, because you're just like really being arrogant with this. Long story short, I end up going upstairs back to that same office, and I ended up speaking to the young lady, and she said, basically, it ain't there. If it ain't there, you didn't file it. Well, you got an attitude. Let me go speak to the gentleman. Like she said, if it ain't here, you didn't file it here. They barking at me now. This is what you would call a bait for you to act up. Because the minute you act up, they're going to hit the button, whatever. And then the court officer is going to come in and they're going to escort you out. And you're not going to be able to, retrieve the information that you needed to retrieve to take care of your personal business. Long story short, there was a sister there, who happened, I believe, to be the supervisor. I said, let me speak to the supervisor. I'm not going to sit up here and argue with you. And you're not showing me away because I did file that here. So I don't want to hear it. You failing to do what you're supposed to do as a public servant, or you having that type of day, or maybe you may see me as that type of person when I'm talking to you simple English. I'm not being aggressive in any way. Long story short, the sister goes down in the basement, retrieves the file, brings the file up, put it out, and asks me, what do I need from it? And I said, give me copies of this, and that. She makes the copies. I said, do I owe a fee? She said, no, you don't. Thank you very much. Really appreciate, your time and your effort. You think about those other two employees. We're not going to get on their ethnic background. We're not even going to go there. Your actions explain. You're a public servant. Your job is to do what is required under your contract. Not to shoot somebody off. Did you file this here? Yes, I did. Okay, let me take and look at what's up, Mama. I see you. Let me take and go into this a little further in the whole 9 yards. Because if it wasn't like that, the sister wouldn't have went downstairs and located the file and brought it upstairs. You know, you got to think when it comes to people like, you can call me later and that I'm blowing them up. Stop calling me when I'm doing this. What up, sister? How you doing now? Everything good? You all right, Mama? Good. You put up your postings in reference to your girls. I see Sharon did hers. I see a number of women did theirs. And that, it's good. It's a good thing. We're going to go on to the second thing. The second thing is being forced into this system by these individuals who cause you hardship. See, everybody says, when they're on the other side of the fence, they just want to cause people hardship. So I'm at one of the facilities in Harlem, 126th Street. And the people there, this was really messed up. You can't be in the system and then work for the system and then treat people bad that's in the system. They had this idiot there. What's his name? Parrish. Bully dude. From day one, walked in unannounced, just like, who you? That's how you answer in a professional matter. This is a professional business. Who you? Once you get this, he had that ego test, that ego type of deal like the dirty director, a.k.a. the probationary employee. This guy would do all type of illegal stuff. So when him doing his illegal stuff, like, searching your belongings, pulling your stuff out, stuffing it downstairs, cause you hardship, basically piss you off. See, because once you act up, then that's grounds for them to take and do whatever they want with you. We're gonna go further to, him giving the green light to his employees, and these employees trying to act like all this and that. And I'm like, I'm looking at you. I know you're a part of this system. Okay, so we're gonna go to that day. Coming out of the facility, I needed you. You get outside. Oh my God, I gotta go to the bathroom. So you try to go back in. No. We ain't letting you back in. What? I need to use the restroom. No. Go to McDonald's or one of the restaurants around there. This is something the mayor and the governor need to know about. Because what they did in denying me, depriving me of a right and privilege because I was a resident to use the restroom is unacceptable at all costs. And causing that hardship, I stayed there. I stayed right outside and waited for their superior to come in. Period. A good thing is one of their personnel who had brains said, you know what? This is not going down. Because I called the police. And the police came and said, well, they called us. No, they didn't call. What's up, Mama? How you doing? I got that posting. How you doing, Sharon? I got that posting on the girls. I'm mad that I owe this, so it's a beautiful posting. It's a beautiful posting. All right? Yeah, Mama, this is what they did. They forced me to stay outside and, basically, you know what happened when you don't get a chance to go back in. We're not young. We're in the 50s. We're not young. I'm not going to lie. So, I called the police, and the police was like, by the time they got there, they ended up arguing with the staff, and the staff was like, this is our business. We don't got to let you in. So, long story short, the police was like, it's not a crime, so we can't do anything. So I stood there. because I'm determined like that. I stood there and waited till management was showing up. So the individual, he came out and he was like, nah, I'm not going to let that go down. And he took me back into my building to where I was staying, and he let me go and get cleaned up. Not a problem. You already know the mind is thinking. So in coming out from that next day, right up the block to 125th Street, Adam Clayton Powell Building, New York State Division of Human Rights. Okay? Filed the complaint with them in reference to what had happened to me. And let them know that I was aware, let them know I'm aware that you're delaying the process in reference to the complaint that I filed earlier against New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation. How y'all breached your contract. So I want you to breach this contract as well. Told the employee. Long story short, they answered the complaint within an appropriate time, which is within the 6 months. But they've said, we find nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Your New York State Division of Human Rights. The key word is rights. So we're going to go further. What is U.S. Code 42? What is that? Under what is that? Civil Actions, subsection 1983. Deprivation of a right or privilege. Anywhere in the United States. So, as a client, as a resident there, it's for people in hardship. How dare you deny somebody that? Even the New York State Division of Human Rights, how dare you deny the case? It's funny. I just went online today. I went a couple times. And I pull up New York State Division of Rights, Division of Human Rights, and I can't seem to find who's the new commissioner. But it's funny, in 2016, prior to that, I had requested her on a specific site, and she wouldn't answer. But in 2016, after Health and Hospitals report, she answered. It's a little too late, boo-boo. It's a little too late. Sorry. And guess what? You did have me sign a document, right? Which is a contract, right? What's that law? Subsection 214 or 213 under contract law? I have a 6-year time span. And you did deprive me of a right and privilege, right? Which constitutes violation of U.S. Code 42, subsection 1983, deprivation of a right or privilege. As me being a resident. It was reported to their administration, because when they sent off their documents, it went down to the main branch of their administration, and they got back, and then they conducted their own investigation, and then they wrote up a lie. This is the sweet stuff. Yeah, that person from SUS who wrote up that lie and said that that they called the police. They called the police. Really? So, being that I'm a former law enforcement officer, I know that all police calls are recorded. And you could pull up that actual call and hear my voice and me calling the police, because they never called. And then you wrote that 7 police cars came there and had to drag me off. Really? Did they drag me out of the bathroom? Did they do that? No, they didn't. So you was dumb enough to write that report and submit that report on the record, filed on the record with your organization and New York State Division of Human Rights, because I'm quite sure you sent them a copy. Yeah. Offer an instrument for filing with false written statement. That would be subsection 175.30. That would be a Class A misdemeanor by your organization. Wouldn't. The funny thing about it is I have the contract. I still have the contract from your organization. It was funny, I came in there, it was one name, then they changed it to your organization's name. What type of funny work's going on? But you did respond and take the doggone report, didn't you? What was that guy's name? The coolest dude, Castro. Real cool, brother. Well, we call our brother. Real cool. Love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because he handled the business. Coming back from therapy, and Mr. Parrish stripped the locker. The locker belongs to the major agency. And the clients who are in hardship are allowed to put their belongings in the locker. You do not have a right to say how much they could put in the locker. As long as it fits in the locker, it's not on top of the locker, on the side of the locker, and in front of the locker, as per their guidelines, you do not have a right to do that. See, he would take the stuff, and then he would throw people's stuff away. You got 7 days, so I'm throwing it away. And then his staff was stealing. I got a camera. I'm like, where's my camera? So when I go to retrieve, they took it. And when I go to retrieve it, they said that it was taken. So who was it taken from? One of your staff members? This is comical. I said, no problem. Call 911. Let's get this 61. Let's get this 61 going. 61, yeah. We're going to file a police report of theft of property. You do know I work as a law enforcement officer, right? Yeah. I'm going to use these skills against you. He says, go ahead and have your meal. By the time you get finished your meal, it'll be there. So he said the other individual will be coming in, and I'm quite sure he knows where it's at. Really. You only put it in one place. If you're putting it in other places, what type of deceptive practices is that? That whole staff need to be wiped out. You got the kitchen, the KitchenAid who thinks they're the cook. Put a wire, the bread wire, in the soup. In the soup. So I hit the soup with the spoon, and as I came up, there's the yellow wrapping for the bread. Didn't have my phone out on me at the time because it was charging. Another fella had his phone. Click up, you dumb. Click up. Took the picture. Came to where I was at. Sent me the pictures in my phone. I still have this picture to this day. I think I'm gonna post it. I think I'm gonna post that later on today. Yeah, it's like pea soup is green, but you see that doggone wire in it. So what was your deliberate intentions when I consumed this? I mean, like, if I was to consume it and then there was a problem that was to occur and medical staff was to be called, now it occurs in your kitchen and it's the wrapping for the bread. What do you think is going to be said? If you're the only kitchen staff in there. If you're the only kitchen staff there. This place was like a horror show. I'm serious. It's like a horror show. I've been holding off for it for so long, to really go at it. But somebody hit me today, and they said their corporate compliance changed a great deal, where they're going after these people who violate the policies and procedures and laws. They need to be gone after. These deceptive practices should not be going on. And the whole night, especially these type of things happen to people in hardship. I can see if the people was a problem, but if they're not, like you got some people in there, they have drinking problems or they have substance abuse problems, and you got to understand what it was that occurred in their life that force them into that situation. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be basically like a rebound, something to help them get up, sustain themselves, and get back on their feet, not to hinder them and just keep stepping on their throat, and on their neck. You know, this place, the director, she was a beautiful person. The director and the assistant director was, beautiful persons, but they didn't curb their dog, Mr. Parrish. They didn't put a leash on this dog. Understanding, because we went past it, that since I've left, they changed it over. I'm just gonna say they changed it over because of the fact that they known, or reason to believe in known. You got this idiot going loose. You think I'm gonna go and write up a report of a complaint? You think I'm really gonna take my time out of my day to write a complaint? Just to write some nonsense? Oh, hell no. No. If I gotta write you, I'm gonna write you. I'm gonna write you on purpose. Yeah. But see, what they do is like they try to delay the process as much as possible and say, well, the time lapse. Oh, the time lapse? Yeah. Well, these people did this, right? Yeah, so I'm quite sure they did it and they was quite comfortable in doing it. So there's a possibility that they did this more than once. So you're going to shield them and let them continue to do this? Please say yes. Please say yes. Because then we will use rules, regulations, and laws against you. It's that simple. No bullshit. Excuse my language. But I mean, it comes to a time where you got to take action. Especially when you got officials in place and you tell them about it and they got wind about it, but they like, we're just going to let this blow by. I made sure I downloaded subsection 73 under public office. They know what I'm talking about. Public office, public employee. Boom. This is what our people need to do in reference to getting back at the system that's doing, like, look at that girl out there and the officer kills her. How you gonna? You took action. The action was wrong. What was your probable cause? You're taking action. Game over. My supervisor used to tell me, before you touch, make sure you have a good damn reason. If you touching, you don't have no reason, you're going down, buddy. Right, Sergeant Austin? She's no longer sergeant, she moved over to something else. But she used to be like, don't touch unless you got a good damn cause. If you don't, and you touch, you're going under the bus. Simple facts. It's just simple facts. But that's just it. It's, I just have to get that out. It's been stewing for a while, in reference to, the nonsense that I had to endure there, where they snatch your clothing and your belongings and hold it hostage and take it in the basement. And then, like, no, I'm going to give it back, but you can't bring it back in the building and fit it in the locker. No, I'm just going to empty you out in the locker so when I can kick you out, I can just hand you a Metro card, beat it. This is what they do. I had to have Frankie Bedtimes come up there. He came up there. For some reason, he was there. And, it was like a nightmare. When you go back to the facility, each time you go back, you got to worry about what's going on with your belongings, It's not even like you got to worry about the other clients stealing your belongings. It's staff. You go there and you just touch the locker and it's empty. Why is my shit empty? Oh, because we took it out. Why? Or did you find any contraband or anything? No, we just took it out. And we're not giving it back. And if we give it back, you got to go. You're only going to have one pair of drawers here, one t-shirt, one pair of pants. Are you serious? It got so ugly when I put in the Department of department came there and they sent an investigator, and he interviewed me, and I said, dude, you can see it. I used to wear the magic. I could drop a brick on this place and close it. In violations of corporate compliance policy. And deceptive practices against people. Number one, you got people in there? Yeah. Okay. Let me do this. There was a guy there. A couple times this happened to two different people. They're diabetic. Yeah. You're supposed to have an orange or something there for them. Why? In the event they have a diabetic attack, you got to be able to give that to them. Somebody hit me with a bunch of hearts. It looks like it's, I don't know, I can't see. But they're diabetic. You got to have substance there for them. Be it fruit or peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You got to have that there for them. Or we're just going to call it ambulance. What's up, mama? How you doing? All right. We're just going to call it ambulance. You're just going to call it ambulance. You know, did you hit the invite? Don't make me pull up the invite, you know what I'm saying? Because you know he'll be like, oh, what's up with that? Much love. But yeah, the individuals, they were diabetic, and these people had nothing for them. So they're diabetic. Oh, no, you can't bring no food in here. You only got to drink water out of our containers. That's it? What's up with all the hardship? No, this is how we run it. This isn't prison, nor is it a jail. You know, there was a number of things that was done there. But you're getting all this money. You're getting this money because you registered your system in the whole 9 yards. Come at me, and I'm just going to rip you up on everything that you was doing there that was totally illegal. Because speaking to the gentleman who did the interview, in reference to our clothing, wasn't supposed to be clean there? Oh, we only clean the linen. Yeah, sure. Right. What was that? The little soap bars used to break it in half and give the man, a grown man, half a soap bar, part of a soap bar? You wouldn't give him a whole soap bar? What was that about? Are you basically making him look like he's nothing as a man? You know, like just like you're less than nothing. Take this trash. You know, like what positive thing was you doing for the people? This is all coming up, you know, like, you know, and Castro knows. And I was trying to sit on it for the longest, but, you know, this individual, you know, just going through it. The good thing about it, I was going to therapy. You see me bouncing, right? You see me bouncing, my legs going. I was going to therapy. I'm not drinking. But yet still, you know, I put down the bottle, picked up the book. Used the book against them. You come in here with a tab. Oh, you can't come in here with a tablet. If it's locked in my locker, why not? No, we don't want you in here with nothing. You're less than a man. And then you find these same people that's saying that to you lives in another facility. Explain that. I want to understand this when they tell you, you need to go out there and look for a job. You know what I'm saying? Okay, how do I go? We don't got no papers here. Well, go to the library. So you go to the library, and the library has only so many computers, and you only got, you know, they only available, you know, for so long. But they have Wi-Fi. But you have a tablet or a laptop. And here's these people saying, I don't want you in here with it. Okay, yes, these things get stolen because of you negligent with your stuff. If you don't lock it up the proper way or you don't secure it the right way, yes, it do get stolen. But if you secure with yours in the whole 9 yards, and they telling you, you know, go look for the job or go look for, you're using it to better yourself by your own means. that's what you're using it for. But they're depriving you of it. They had people who came with their stuff and forced them to sell their stuff on the street. I said, I ain't selling chat. I have it all. It was funny. I had officers coming in to see me, because I was going through the hardship. And you got them. Paris was like, why don't you get one of your officer friends to give you a room so you can get the hell out of here? Whoa. Is that in your job description, Paris? As a house manager? Is that in your job description? Does it say such things like that? For services for the unserved? Is that in your job description? I just need to know. Let me know. I want to know how the governor, mayor, and all of those executives, all the way down, how they deal with that. As you as a representative of them. It's time to use the skills, yo. No more watered down stuff. No more watered down. This place, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. But yet, still, I'm coming back for my stuff. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Because I worked hard for it. It is what it is. So on that note, you know what time it is. The facts cannot be altered nor denied. Y'all have a wonderful weekend and a safe one, okay? And shout outs to the baby girls. You know who you are. Later, y'all.